All right, let's talk about Jaxson Dart, a very roller coaster performance, one that was very exciting for Giants fans early on, a game that ended up ultimately being very exciting for their opponents by the time it ended. Let's talk about the good, what happened, how the Giants got up to a lead. I thought Dart did some really nice things in the first half, and then what went wrong, and I thought Dart did some really bad things in the second half. So we'll talk about it all. Let's just get into it. First, the play you see on your screen, going to be a zone coverage concept, cover 3 zone right here that the Saints are in, and this is a perfect concept to beat that coverage. First, only wide receiver lined up to the offense's left, running a route over the middle. This is a pure setup route. It's trying to get the corner who is on that side of the field to move more over the middle. Then a tight end who is lined up as a fullback will go to where that corner now hopefully isn't. That's the way this play can work, and it's a good concept. These can definitely work. Watch as when you see Dart runs this play action to help bring the linebackers further in. Now someone has to pick up the tight end / fullback, but right here, the Saints are communicating now, but someone needs to be getting back and covering him. So that's kind of why you run the play action, as it makes it tougher for the linebackers to read when this is supposed to work. As you see, Dart is going to fire this one to get a big completion. Don't quite get the touchdown, but get very close to the touchdown. So really good stuff there from Dart. Just good throw, well-timed, good scheme, all that good stuff. That's what you want to see from your young quarterback, what he was able to do in college, what he's able to do here. Like this play is another one where it's a 3rd and 7. So obvious passing situation in the red zone. These are difficult plays, and often you don't get the biggest of windows. The way this play is designed to work is it's zone coverage, and you're going to have a receiver run the route you see on your screen. Try to get over the middle. And this is tough because you're going to have to get enough separation against the corner he's going up against. So fake as though maybe, you're going to go to the outside or cut in, and then you go over the middle. But the timing is also going to make this difficult, as you're going to have to throw this in between the 2 Saints players who are covering over the middle in that area as well. So watch how when Dart takes a snap. You see right here, this is not a huge window, and you have to time this perfectly if you're going to make this play work. However, as you see, Dart does exactly that. You get the completion, and okay, 14-3, this game's basically over, let's call it, right? Okay, well, it didn't quite work out that way, but before we get to the bad, there's still some more good to discuss. Over here, we're definitely seeing his scrambling and his rushing be a real factor here, which I didn't fully expect. Like in college, he was an effective enough runner and scrambler, but he was not like he was not someone you thought that was going to be like a major part of his NFL game, but so far it has been, and I mean that complimentary. It's been really good. Watch how when you see Dart takes the snap, he's going to look around, doesn't love what he sees. There is pressure, but ultimately 3 New Orleans Saints defensive linemen end up on the ground. So at this point for Dart, he says, well, the other guy's getting double teamed, might as well run, right? And as you see, he is going to scramble. He is going to pick up a really big gain. Slides, touch late, but does slide. He did take a hit or 2 in this game as well. That's kind of been a storyline of protecting himself. But ultimately does protect himself, does slide, and picks up a ton of yards while doing it. Even this play I thought was fun, which is you're going to see pressure comes. It's still a 4-man rush, but they drop someone who was on the line back in coverage and then send someone who looked like they were going to be in coverage. Anyway, Dart looks over and sees that he has a player who is about to get open. This is Cam Jordan kind of ended up on him. Cam Jordan's a defensive end. He dropped back because of this coverage. So you have a situation where you have someone open, but Dart is at a full sprint moving forward. That's kind of why Jordan has stopped right here. However, watch Dart read this, flip it over there, and this ended up being a pretty nice gain for the Giants on that play, and a play that was really, didn't look like it was going to go for much. So again, you're seeing this aspect for Dart. Of course, now we have to talk the negatives, and really the turnovers were the major thing. I didn't think it was like a play-to-play bad situation for the Giants, which is okay. That's, I guess, what you would probably prefer of it being a situation like that. What you prefer is no negatives whatsoever. But if there's going to be, if things are going to go haywire, you'd rather just be like a series of negatives that go very wrong, I think, as opposed to like you're just not getting any positives. But anyway, when Dart takes the snap, again, he's going to look to scramble. The Giants have given up some points now. It's a 16-14 game, but still, just outside field goal range, another first down, you're in prime position to at least take the lead. And Dart just drops the football. It's a weird mistake, but it's one you can't let happen. You have to protect the football. You see, I don't fully even get how this happens. It just kind of slips out of his hand. I don't know if he was trying to protect it. It's weird. Either way, if you're going to be contacting people, you have to have two hands on the ball. Maybe that's what he was trying to do, was put his second hand on the ball, and it just slipped out when he was doing that. I have no idea. But the play kind of turned on that play, or the game kind of turned on that play. I mean, later on, we had this one, which is a 4th down and 6 situation. So, okay, a tough spot. You got to try and make something happen right here, and it's going to get even worse. Watch as Dart takes a snap. As of right here, there is pressure. There is nothing open. Well, what do? Well, you got to try and figure something out, right? This is just, can you somehow find a way to make a play? Watch as he scrambles out. He's going to just look down the field, fires, and I mean, I kind of see what he was looking at. Like, again, if this was anything but a 4th down, you're looking at this and saying, like, this is an awful decision. Don't even try and make this throw. Here, it does get intercepted, but that actually helps the Giants, because, you're able to kind of pin him deep right there, whereas it would have had, they would have had better field positions. So down 12 points, in the 4th quarter, there's not a ton of value there, but ultimately, I'm fine with this. He's trying to make a play. It's going to hurt his stats and make the overall performance look worse, but really it was the fumbles, one of which was by him, that were the real issue. The second interception was definitely more on the potentially his fault. The first one, I'm pretty sure won't even count as a turnover-worthy play, because you're just, again, it's 4th down, you're throwing one up and hoping for the best. Here, this one will count as a turnover-worthy play, although I still have to say, I think I have some, quibbles with this play. So watch how when Dart takes a snap, watch 81, his receiver. It looks like his receiver kind of stops on this route a little bit. That was a weird play, right? Either way, it's the 4th quarter. You're trying to make something happen. I'm not going to crush him regardless for something like this, but definitely a weird situation. So ultimately, look, I think if you're going to sit here and say, this is a horrible performance, I just don't know if I really fully agree. I get that the turnovers are turnovers, and ultimately you do have to protect the football better. That's true. At the end of the day, 3 turnovers is 3 turnovers. Sure, one was a 4th down, one was in garbage time, and one was you just completely an unforced error. But nonetheless, you got to protect the football better. That's totally fair to say. At the same time, there was a lot of good in this game. You're still continuing to see the good with Dart. They just, the team as a whole has to protect the football better, because when you have too many turnovers like that, it's hard to win many games. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care if you're playing the Saints from way back in the day when they could barely get any wins regardless. It doesn't matter. You're not going to win football games that way. So, yeah, that's kind of what I think about all of this. No need to be discouraged if you're a Giants fan. Disappointing second half here, but not a horrible game as a whole. You just kind of let it get away with them largely due to turnovers. So, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from ya. And, of course, as always, thanks for watching.